Hey everyone, Scotty Mo's back online. So a few hours ago I watched that live stream from Reform UK. Nigel Farage and his team has finally announced they will be calling for mass deportations of illegal immigrants. Now, the less politically savvy and awake, let's just say, they probably think we should all be celebrating the fact that Nigel Farage has finally made the right decision, bent the knee to the people's will, and we're getting what we're asking for all this time, repeatedly and consistently. We need all of these people, millions and millions of them, to be deported from the hotels, getting rid of, send the boats back, close off the border, stop illegal immigration. Well, if you actually look at the fine print and you look at the close up the nitty gritty details of this policy plan, Nigel doesn't want to deport them in the millions. That's a massive red flag. And I just saw Rupert Lowe come up on X and make a post about it. I'll put it up on screen for you. It's not mass deportations, it's just a deportation policy. He doesn't want to deport them in the millions. So I'll read post out for you. Your 3.5 page policy document is weak as piss, Farage. How on earth has it taken you so long to cobble this together? This isn't mass deportations. Your plan barely scratches the surface. 500,000 deportations. It's not enough. It's pathetic. That needs to be quadrupled at least. You stood across me in the Essex hotel room and instructed me to remove the term mass deportations. You told the Telegraph it was a very grave, dark and dangerous use of language. Radical problems require radical solutions. There easily would be 2 million plus illegals by 2029, likely far more. They all need to go. Not some, as you are suggesting, but all. Britain needs real mass deportations. And that is exactly what we need. The millions and millions of them need to be out of this country and off British soil. But during that conference, there was one moment he was asked about this, and Farage literally threw Rupert Lowe once again under the bus, rubbished his name, undermined his credibility, and thought it was a political difficulty within the Reform Party. I'll play the clip for you.
Nigel Farage, last September you told GB News that it was a political impossibility to deport hundreds of thousands of people and that we simply couldn't do it. What has changed your mind that you now believe that you can?
The political impossibility was deporting millions and millions of people, and that's where the argument had gone. We had a situation, a political difficulty within Reform UK. This does happen to parties. They do have difficulties and problems. We had a problem that one of our MPs, who's no longer an MP, was talking about deporting entire communities, including people who've been born here. And frankly, we found that unacceptable. And so I just did not want, I think you can quote me for another interview, to get dragged down the route of mass deportations.
Literally, it's just Nigel Farage flip-flopping it about. Because remember that Steve Edgerton interview? He didn't want to be dragged down the route of mass deportations because it's literally impossible. It's a political impossibility, right? Well, he's just kind of painting this in a kind of colourful image to say that they're mass deporting. They're refusing to deport them in the millions. That's not good enough. And what Rupert Lowe was referring to when he was calling for the deportation of people within the communities, a lot of them need to go, is the fact that the wives of the grooming gang perpetrators who knew about the perpetration, who knew what was going on, that little girls were being odd, that sexual assault of these innocent victims was going on, and they did nothing, said nothing, allowed this to continue to happen, they are just as criminally culpable. So they are the ones that have to go as well. They need to be deported in the millions. No matter what the number is, they need to be out of the community because they are as criminal as the grooming gang perpetrators. That's what Rupert Lowe was referring to in terms of mass deportations. But Nigel Farage just simply doesn't really want to come to terms with this. Plus the fact that in this policy, there's no real concrete strategy for existing illegals. What about the illegals that are already in this country? You need to address that problem. There's no good turning back the boats and closing off the border and stopping the illegals entering. It's about rooting out the ones that are already here, the undocumented migrants that are festering within our hotels. They're hiding amongst their communities behind closed doors. There's a lot of shady black market illicit activity going on, and it involves illegal immigrants that are already on British soil. They have to go. Rupert Lowe's strategy is far better. This lukewarm, hot and cold policy making is not enough. You've got to get to the root of the problem and sort out what is happening within the system. The system, the establishment, is preventing these illegals from being expelled. And you need to bulldoze your way through that establishment. You got to tackle it head on. But Nigel Farage isn't doing this. It's just simply a joke. Asylum seeking will continue. So asylum seekers, if they want to seek asylum, they can go through legal means. And this is the problem. Nigel Farage hasn't, and Yusuf as well, they haven't issued and addressed the problem with legal means of asylum seeking. You have to stop any processing of asylum seeking, whether they come through legal means or not. They have to go, or the border just has to be shut. This is true, genuine mass deportations. I just simply think this is not radical enough. Like, as Rupert Lowe says, radical ramifications or consequences as a result of the failure of the Labour Party and the Tories as well comes with radical solutions. We need this sort of stuff. We need upfront, strong, radical changes to the problems that we're facing in this country involving illegal immigration. And also one thing, illegals caught, Nigel Farage mentioned this, the ones who are caught in this country who have come by illegal means, they will be imprisoned for 5 years. 5 years! So we're paying our taxes for them to be festering with our prison cells for 5 years. What happens if the Labour Party manage to win the next general election? Then there'll just be a release, and they'll continue arresting people for their social media posts and arresting people for, I don't know, saying we love bacon. They'll put them in and then put the illegals out of the prison just to make room for these other political prisoners in the same way that they did in the Southport riots. There's just no point. Why would you imprison them for 5 years? That's just a waste of money, time, resources, and energy. Look what Donald Trump did. Within 30 days, they're out of the country, away from American soil. 5 years? This is complete bollocks. Even if it was 5 months, I would say that's too long. Because they could just find a way of getting out of prison, Michael Scofield prison break style, and wreak all sorts of havoc. We're already seeing on the streets where people are innocent victims, young girls are being sexually assaulted, and there's all sorts of incidents relating to these illegal immigrants. So what the hell are you going to achieve by imprisoning them for 5 years? Just let them go and deport them all. Reform are not the solution. I'm telling you. Nigel Farage, his plan for mass deportations, he flips and he flops. This is just containment. He's just doing this just to go with the flow of the people and go where the wind blows. He sees Rupert Lowe as a threat with his Restore Britain. He sees Ben Habib as a threat as well, with the ramping up of the numbers in membership for Advance UK. That's why he's doing it. He's not doing this to save the country. It's weak, it's lukewarm, it's not good enough, and this is not what we need. What we need are radical changes to the direction of destroying the establishment and overhauling existing laws and policies. That's what I think. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, especially from the ones of you from the reform fanatics, you know, the Faragists, the ones who are still infatuated by this whole reform party, and you think they're going to solve the problems and change this country. Reform, just, they're a lost cause. It's Guardian Cock, and I'll see you in the next one.